الخانية حبيبنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صادق الوعد الأمين وعلى آله وأصحابه الدر الميامين وابنه الكريم الغوث الأعظم محي الدين عبد القادر الجيلي وحزبه وبارك وسلم. أما بعد، وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في قرآنه العظيم وكتابه القديم: ألا إن أولياء الله لا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون. ويقول الله سبحانه وتعالى في شان حبيبه المبارك: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا مولانا محمد نور الأنوار والسر الأسرار وسيد الأبرار وزين المرسلين الأخيار وأكرم من أظلم عليه الليل وأشرق عليه النهار عدد ما في علم الله، صلاة دائمة بدوام ملك الله الواحد القهار، وترنهم الهزار فوق الأزهار ما دامت الأثمار، وعلى آله وأصحابه الأخيار. Ulama Kiram, my respected and honored brothers in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We have time constraints and therefore I will be as brief as possible. There's a few things that I would like to bring to your notice, and I would like you to bear that in mind and practice on what I am trying to relay to you. Inshallah ta'ala, it will be of great benefit. Sultanul Mashayikh, Khaja-e-Khajagan, Hazrat Khaja Nizamuddin Mahbub-e-Ilahi radiyallahu ta'ala has said something as a sabaq for those who follow the tariqah of spirituality, of spiritualism. He speaks about too much and too less. Two things. Too much, too less. Apply it in your life and you will find a very big difference in how you would look at the religion of Islam and how you would value your own Iman. Too much of fear is also dangerous. Too little fear is also dangerous. You fear Allah too much, then the command of Allah is to do a certain thing. Out of excessive fear, you won't do it. समझ रहे हैं आप लोग? Listen very carefully. Too much fear. बहुत ज़्यादा डर. I don't know whether I'll do it right or not. I might as well not do it. Too much fear. One sect in Islam has lost their Iman with too much love. And one lost his Iman with too little love. And the one who kept it in between are you, the Ahl Sunnatul Jama'ah. Ala Hazrat radiyallahu ta'ala, this is it's the Urs of my Murshid al Kaamil. And for me, it is a very, very sensitive subject, discussing my Murshid. Now, what is sad is those who did not even see him want to teach me who saw him. Too much they think they know is too dangerous. Now, if you lived with your father, somebody after your father passed away, he wants to come and tell you about your father. What would you say? You say he's a certified idiot, isn't it? Right? Mustanad be'ukuf. Okay? So, too much love is those who gave the Ahl Bayt and lost the Iman. Too much. They went past the line. Hudud. You'll find that word hudud in the Quran, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has drawn a line. Don't go over it. Don't go over it. That's where you stop. Because Allah Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala said, those people who write Naat. Naat is not a joke. You say too much, you lose your Iman. You say too little, you lose your Iman. It is very, very difficult to write Naat Sharif. Huzur ki itni taarif karo, that you give him an attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You pass that line of creator and creation, you lose your Iman. Very dangerous. So, that's one of the reasons why I also refrain, because what is necessary for me to write Naat? When the Imam of the Naat, right, Allah Hazrat radiallahu ta'ala has written and has left nothing, because the Naat of Allah Hazrat, every single Naat or every single line that he's written, he wrote that only when he saw either in front of him the verse of the Holy Quran, or on this side he saw the hadith of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Only then he picked up his pen and he did a translation of that ayah of the Holy Quran and or the hadith of the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. So too much is dangerous, too little is also dangerous. Now, too little means if you don't fear Allah, if you fear Him very little, then you will end up committing not minor sins, major sins. So you say, don't worry about it. When you commit a major sin, a minor sin, thinking it's nothing if you do it, that becomes a major sin. Right? Like Khaja Nizamuddin Mahbuba Ilahi also said, to speak bad about anyone is bad. He said, to speak bad about anyone is bad. But to think bad about him is even worse. Human psychology. What is he teaching you? Human psychology. There's a Dr. Saab sitting here. He'll know what I'm speaking about. However, this is a very important sabak for you. You become a murid of your Shaykh, right? And there is rules and regulations of irada. Irada is how you behave with your Shaykh. Now, you must behave with your Shaykh in such a manner that you must not talk ill about somebody else's Shaykh. That is irada. Right? You don't speak ill. Oh, I am from this silsila, your silsila is nothing. That you are in big trouble. Okay? That is not tariqah or that it is not spiritualism and that's not tasawwuf. If anybody tells you that, then he is a total idiot. He doesn't know what he's speaking about. He's not teaching you the right thing. So we are involved in that. In this country, it's very common. Very common. Oh, I belong to this silsila. Bas, the silsila, the awliya of that silsila is the only awliya in the world. The rest of it is nothing. You start speaking ill about the others. You don't behave in this manner. You should rather not become a murid, because you're a disgrace to the faculty of muridi or peer. Don't get involved in you must learn to respect every Muslim that is Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. A Sunni Muslim, you must always regard the first rule of tasawwuf is everybody is better than the first rule. The first rule in tasawwuf is you the smallest, everybody is better than you. Right? So he'll take you along with, just remember these things. Now, tasawwuf, to speak about my murshid, very briefly. There's many things that I would like to talk to you, but there's no time. No, there is a thing, a medical doctor will understand me better, that is known as Ghaflatus Salihin. What? Don't get frightened with the word. Maybe it's the first time you heard the word. But it is very simple. Ghaflatus Salihin, meaning the forgetfulness of the pious. Okay? This is what causes that. I will read to you what I wrote in the biography of my Pir Murshid, which will shortly be about 750 pages. I wrote the biography of Huzur Mufti-e-A'zam. It's on its way to be here shortly, inshallah. Ghaflatus Salihin, forgetfulness of the awliya. They forget. Now this is not a defect like you are very forgetful. This forgetfulness is caused by Allah. Big difference. Your memory gets weak, that's one thing. And if a third force makes you forget, it's beyond your control. Can't help it. There's a ayah in the Holy Quran that deals with, like Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his status and his personality is totally something else. Like, सुनाओ एक वाक़या सुनाओ. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam performing Zuhr namaz. Zuhr namaz. How many rakat? 2 rakat. He made salam in 2 rakat. Big sahaba behind him. किसी ने लुकमा नहीं दिया. All quiet. Right? After namaz is over, one sahabi, बहुत सीधे sahabi, sahibul yadain, the person with 2 hands, very, very simple, sadhe sahabi. He went to you, Ya Rasulullah, if you give me permission, I would like to say something. Adab. He didn't say at the same time, say, how you perform namaz? You read this, you read that. No, adab. Sahaba learned the finest, most refined adab that gave him that status. That's what they learned from Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Say, Ya Rasulullah, ijazat. They say, what is it you want to say? They say, Did you receive a revelation while you are performing namaz? Did you receive a revelation while performing salah? That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shortened the Zuhr namaz. Allah, पूछने का तरीका देखो. Look at the way he is asking the Nabi. Did you receive while you are performing salah? Because revelation can come in any situation. While sleeping, while walking, while eating. Revelation come whenever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wills. Say, Ya Rasulullah, while you're performing this, we are leading the salah, did a revelation come that Allah has shortened the salah? He's not telling, Ya Rasulullah, you made a mistake. You're supposed to read 4, you read 2 rakat. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam kya farmate? Is Abu Bakr here? Is Abu Bakr? Abu Bakr hai? So Huzur hai. Huzur yaad farmare. Abu Bakr Siddiq was that Sahabi that always read Salah in the front line. In the first line, first saf. Nearest to the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. And couple of other Sahabas who were the Huffaz, Hafiz, and Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ordered them, you will stand behind me, near me. If you hear me, read any ayah, if I leave it out, give me luqma. Right? Hazrat Ubay ibn Ka'b al-Ansari was the Hafiz al-Quran in the presence of the Nabi. He became Hafiz while Nabi was alive, physically. He became Hafiz. Hazrat Ubay ibn Ka'b al-Ansari radiyallahu anhu. We ordered him, stand next to me. When you stand by me, behind me, closest to me when is Jamaat, time of Jamaat. Abu Bakr, Ya Rasulullah, labbaik Ya Rasulullah. See, Abu Bakr, what? Do you understand what this man is trying to say? The man repeated, what are you saying? What are you saying? Saying Rabbi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Abu Bakr, how many rakats did I read? Huzur पूछते हैं. How many rakats did I perform? Abu Bakr Siddiq, मुझे नहीं मालूम. I don't know. कि तुम मेरे पीछे नमाज पढ़ रहे थे, तुम्हें नहीं मालूम? मुझे नहीं मालूम. Abu Bakr Siddiq's answer, I don't know. Say, you don't know? Say, Ya Rasulullah, Abu Bakr came to the masjid to perform salah behind you. My work is to make iqtada behind you, whether you read 2 rakat or whether you read 100 rakat. I don't count the rakat. I came to read namaz behind you. I don't know how many rakat. Imam Abu Bakr Siddiq, the Imam of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq. I didn't come here to join you to count how many rakats you read. That's not my work. My work is to make iqtada behind you. You make ruku, I make ruku. You stand up, I stand up. You make salam, I make salam. I don't know how many rakats you read. Abu Bakr Siddiq. Right? Now this is the 2 rakats that Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam read was caused by Allah. Huzur ne, if he knew, he would have told us, oh yes, I did not read 4 rakat, I did 2 rakat. He didn't answer. He called Abu Bakr Siddiq to answer. So, سَنُقْرِئُكَ فَلَا تَنْسَى إِلَّا مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ. When Allah causes them to forget, they forget. Now this only comes on very special occasions with special people. Towards this quality, This you see, this forgetfulness, which is ghaflatul salihin, is forgetfulness of the salihin, implies to the self by the awliya, which is not caused by weak memory. You following? Samajh rahe aap? This is not caused by weak memory or any other physical defect. These are my words that I wrote in the biography. I'm repeating it to you. In reality, the trait refers to a spiritual state of extinction. You know what is extinction? If you really fell in love, you'll know what is extinction. You know, you see, I'm looking at it. Dunya se alag ho gaya ho. He doesn't know who's coming, who's going, who's screaming and who's laughing or who's calling him. He's not interested. What do you say, daydreaming? He's not daydreaming. He's in ghaflat. You know what is ghaflat? He's in a different world. He's cut out from this world. He is observing a different world. And the rules of that world is the object that you are locked on, then controls your physicality. You understand what I mean? Samajh rahe aap? The object, and in this state here, that object is the beloved. And you are the lover. When you are locked in the beauty of your beloved, then you are in a state of ghaflat. You don't know. And your mother tells you, hey, don't you see that woman you love, she's a squint. You know what the son will say to the mother? Ma, look at her with my eyes. Look at her. I'm telling you this because it'll be easy for you to digest. If I speak in the language of tasawwuf, you won't understand it. This language everybody knows. Everybody goes through this. If a fault is taken out, you see when your senses, your intellect, right? This is one of the biggest gifts of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to the human being. That's how he becomes superior to every other creation. The intellect. He understands and he can make you understand. Now this intellect, when this intellect, that person now tells you, jump in a fire, you won't wait or think what will happen if I jump in a fire. You will first jump and then think later. I'm speaking, this is human psychology. This psychology was taught to the Sahaba by the beloved Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When a person reaches that state of love, when he becomes extinct in that love, fana in the love, then he forgets this world. They say, there's a state of extinction that is submerged in the love of the sublime Lord. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the closer an arif advances to the divine proximity, the more his existence expels the worldly entities. So, bhul jata hai. He forgets everything else. He doesn't know anything. This is a state which is called ghaflatul salihin, is towards the last years of a wali of Allah. This is what we had seen and experienced. That when we used to go and to our Murshid, he's sitting in a bed, he's looking at the ceiling. He's watching the ceiling. You will be, Assalamu alaikum. Nothing. No movement. No iltifat. Doesn't even look at you. Somebody else come. Huzur, Assalamu alaikum. No answer. He's locked on an object. You look there, you just see the ceiling. You can see nothing. Now you have to look at with his eyes what he is seeing. Subhanallah. You have to use that eye. That vision is locked onto something that is foreign to this world. That he's so engrossed in it that nothing else in the world is of any comparison to it. So you present anything to him, like to bring the food, the khadima is to come. Huzur, ye khana tayyar hai. Not interested. Towards the last years of my Murshid al Kaamil, I'm speaking about a wali of Allah. To the last years of my Murshid al Kaamil, more than me, my colleague Maulana Abd al-Hamid Palmer will tell you about this. What I experienced, I am telling you. He stayed till the last moment. Last moment when Huzur Mufti-e-A'zam departed from this dunya, he was there for the ghusl, he was there for the janaza, he was there for the burial. So he will tell you more about it, but what I experienced, that I will tell you. So I at that state was studying Futuh al-Ghaib of Sayyidina al-Ghawth al-Azam radiyallahu anhu, a book, a manual of Ghawth Park. And I did understand some things that I had to apply to this condition he was in. Was fitting. So what I used to at that time, don't disturb. Another adab you must learn. Somebody reading, I'm reading Quran, you reading the Quran, somebody is reading Quran. You can stand next to him. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Hey Baba, he is talking with Allah. Why are you going and disturbing him? Why are you going and standing there insisting? Some people will even touch the person and draw his attention. This is bad manners. Leave him. He's having his special moments with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is very, very special to him. Don't disturb him. Leave him. And we have this problem everywhere, in every home. When is somebody reading Quran, making tilawat, the phone will ring. Phone will ring. Ismail Bhai is reading Quran and the phone will ring. They don't care what he is doing. Hey Bhai, phone for you. Bad manners. Don't disturb the man when he's reading, when he's making ibadah or whatever. He is communicating with Allah. Why are you interfering with his ibadah? So I learned all this and I came behind him. He's facing this way, I'm sitting behind him. Just sitting down. And what's happening there? What is his situation? He's locked, he's looking up. Just looking. No wink in the eye. No movement in the body. Absolutely silent and motionless. And then the khadima comes. The khadima comes and tells me, should I get some tea for Hazrat? I say, yes, bring the tea. He loved tea. Bring it. Barely ate food. Light tea, yes, you would drink it. So brought the tea. What happened about the tea, that conversation, I don't have time to explain to you. We had a dialogue on this with the Murshid. I don't want to tell you all that because it will take a lot of time. We have to expound on it and we don't have time. It is already 8:05. There was a dialogue before even giving him that cup of tea. Anyway, I gave it to him. Slowly, I just went and left it, held the tea like that. There's a saucer and a cup on it. He was a person with nafasat. You know what's nafasat? Petite, or what word can I use for nafasat? Particular, but if a drop of tea used to fall on the saucer, he would get very displeased with that. Because that tea was not supposed to mess that saucer. The saucer is not meant for that. So he held a cup like that in his hand, right hand, and the saucer on the left hand, and there's he locked again. Tea is getting cold, and he never liked tea that is cold. You see, tea that is cold is like poison. Right? So there again, speaking about tea, what he said is another story. I'm bypassing all this. So after a while, he took a sip of the tea. Okay, and then locked again. On the same, what he's seeing, Allah knows. He drinks the tea, half cup. And my Murshid al Kaamil's nafasat, one of his habits was that he will not leave even a drop of tea inside the cup. He will drink everything up. Now, tea he used to drink used to be very, very strong tea. And the tea leaves that they used to use there was not our modernized tea bags. No, it was loose tea. Loose tea. Olden days, in the 60s, our parents used to make tea like that. So his tea was also made with whole tea, strong tea. Half cup came. Then he is looking up onto the sky, to the ceiling, and he says, "Ye log kya keh rahe hain?" Ye log, what are these people saying? The book that I was studying of Hospak helped me. You know what I replied? I said, Meri nazar mein koi nahi hai. I cannot see anybody and nor can I hear anybody. Who am I to say that? Who are you speaking about? I can't say that. Abu Bakr Siddiq का सबक याद आया. हुजूर ने पूछा कि कितनी रकात पढ़ी? मुझे नहीं मालूम. I don't know. So I said, who am I to say that there's nobody here? Who are you speaking about? I said, मेरी नजर में कोई नहीं है. Then he got locked. Cup in his hand, saucer in this hand, locked. No movement after that. After a while, he turned around. I'm standing with fear now. The awe, haiba, the awe has become so intense that you sitting behind him will start sweating. And you won't have the courage to even go at the side of him or in front of him. You're sitting behind him, away from that nazar. Remind me of the nazar of Khaja Garib Nawaz. Khaja Garib Nawaz radiallahu ta'ala was in his room. See, now this has become a waqt time. Khaja Garib Nawaz had a small hujra. He used to make ibadah inside that hujra. And Hazrat Khaja Qutbe Alam, Khaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki was the only one allowed to go inside the room. When the Garib Nawaz was in ibadah. So he used to go and he was ordered by Khaja Garib Nawaz, at the time of Salah, you come and you come by my ear and say, As-Salah, As-Salah, As-Salah. Why? It is the sunnah of the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. At the time of namaz, the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Hujra Mubarak in Madinah Munawwara, behind that was the Hujra of Sayyida Aisha Siddiqa radiyallahu ta'ala. So time of Salah, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam used to go past the hujra, from his hujra of Sayyidah Aisha Siddiqa's hujra to the hujra of Hazrat Sayyidah Fatima al-Zahra, and he say, Ya Ahl Bayt, As-Salah, As-Salah, As-Salah. And he used to walk into the masjid. Gharib Nawaz made amal on that sunnah. Because their life revolves around sunnah. They will not even take a step without the sunnah. That is the awliya of that caliber. He said, just come and to disturb him because he is not there. He is in Ghaflatul Salihin. You understand what I said? Ghaflatul Salihin. He has gone somewhere else now. To bring him back. To bring him back to his normal physicality, away from spirituality to physicality. That is a condition, you call it a cosmic condition. See, Dr. Sabsar Hilare, he knows what I'm speaking about. Cosmic. That deals with the ruh now. The body got no work there. The soul, it transverses. You are sitting here. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam hadith that wuzu karke so. Hadith. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam says, perform fresh wuzu, even if you got wuzu. Perform a fresh wuzu before you go to sleep. When you perform wudu and go to sleep, then while you are sleeping, your soul leaves your body and travels right up till under the arsh of Allah. Now you learn something good today. Make amal on that. Okay? So, the actual status or the stations of spirituality has got nothing to do with the body. That is undertaken by the soul. Right? And if you're going to go deeper into that, in this subject, وَقَابَ قَوْسَيْنِ أَوْ أَدْنَى, in the night of Mi'raj, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not transverse, he did not go there with his body. Bear that in mind. When he went to Kaaba Qawsain, as close as the bow to an arrow. How close is that? Aw adana, even closer to that he was by his Lord, by Allah. That was nobody. Because it's a timeless and spaceless zone. When you speak about timeless and say spaceless zone, then the body cannot exist there. Because the body requires a space. I'm speaking philosophy with you now. समझ रहे हैं आप? समझ रहे हैं? मेरा मुंह देख रहे हैं आप? समझ रहे हैं? You looking at my face, but are you understanding? Or must I stop this subject? For spaceless zone, this human body is subjected to space. Right? Therefore, this body was created later. First, the needs of this body was created. The need, Allah created the needs of the physical body first before the body was created. Like, for example, give you an example. When a child is born, when the child, first born child, you can't feed the child mutton curry and lalgos and all that. You understand? When the child is born, he needs to be fed. So, the child is born later. Prior to that birth, Allah already creates the feed of that child in the breast of the mother. You understand? You understand this now? So the body came afterwards. Before the body came is the ground, this ground. Because you can't exist without this ground. So this ground was created before the body. Okay? Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Now, when the body, they say the spiritual journey, which you call, the journey that you take. You know, they say we are now in a journey. We started our journey from the timeless, spaceless zone. From there we came down. We came into Alam-e-Arwah. From Alam-e-Arwah we came into Alam-e-Amr. From Alam-e-Amr we came into the womb of the mother, and then we were born. Right? Like you see when the children get up in the morning, when the child, newborn child, you see a newborn child. If you see, look at a newborn child, fast asleep. Suddenly the child starts crying. Okay? Or then suddenly you start a child laughing. What is happening? No doctor up till now said that the child has gone off his head. Ye bacha kyun has raha hai? Why is the child laughing? Why is the child crying? No. Our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, who knows the knowledge of that which science does not know. He knows that knowledge. And he says that the child, why is the child laughing or whatever? The child is actually communicating and talking in a language which is known as the knowledge of Alam-e-Amr, the world of commands, which the child learnt in the womb of the mother. The language. The child will talk that language and he's speaking with the angel. The angel knows that language. That's how they communicate, with that language. And the child was taught that language in the womb of the mother. Okay? Ordinary child, a Muslim, Kafir, any child, Allah teaches in the womb of the mother. Allah can't teach His beloved Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam the knowledge of the kainat. We restrict his knowledge. Oh, did he know the knowledge of unseen? Ibn Nawaz radiallahu ta'ala, I didn't finish that. What I told you was how he used to perform salah. Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki radiallahu, as-salah, as-salah, as-salah. If he did not respond, then he used to touch his body on his shoulder, from the back, not from the front. Why? Why he used to communicate from the back? His vision is focused in the front. He used to communicate from the back. You know why? Because the intensity of spiritual radiation is so high that had any human come in front at that time, with one single vision, he would burn to ashes. Gee. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I give you proof as well, I'm not speaking from my pocket. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam returned from Mi'raj, as Musa alayhi salam, he was fresh with the tajalli of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, head to toe, saturated, head to toe, dripping. And Hazrat Musa alayhi salam, you know, a human being's characteristic, one of the most important characteristic is like a sponge. When he compresses a sponge in the water, it will absorb. And when you press it, it will release. That's a human. That's a characteristic of human. So Hazrat Musa alayhi salam saw that nur and that light and that tajalliyat that Allah cast on him. The Nabi was fresh and dripping with it. So he started absorbing it. किसको देखा? आला हज़रत फरमाते, किसको देखा ये मूसा से पूछे कोई. इसका जवाब अब तक नहीं किसी को मालूम. उस दूसरे शेर में आला हज़रत ने इसका जवाब भी दिया है. This subject is on its own. किसको देखा? ये मूसा से पूछे कोई. ऐ मूसा तूने किसको देखा? मूसा अलैहि सलाम से पूछे, इसका जवाब आला हज़रत ही देंगे. Right? You know what he saw? Man ra'ani faqad ra'al haqq. We're going very intrinsic now. We're going in a very deep, esoteric state. Not touching that subject. Leave it out. Ulama will tell you about it. मैं तो पढ़ा लिखा आदमी नहीं हूँ. I'm not an educated person, but the ulama will tell you about that. Ask your ulama, they'll tell you about what its state was. That किसको देखा ये मूसा से पूछे. Then Musa alayhi salam then said, what gift did Allah give you? मेहमान को कोई तोहफा देते हैं, क्या तोहफा मिला? जैसे 50 times नमाज. Musa alayhi salam said, too much, yo ummah. Few times namaz, I tested my ummah, they could not take it. 50 times? बहुत ज़्यादा, go back and lessen it. That was only a side issue. The reality of sending it back had a different subject. It was a different reason. What reason was that? Go bring some more noon. I want to squeeze my existence, a spongy existence, and extract all that you are bringing from top. Up and down, he was extracting all that. And when he came down from that fourth sky, that's when Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam met him. When he came down to the earth, then Musa alayhi salam used to walk around with a parda, cover his eyes. Wife is asking, wife Sayyida Safura, why are you putting this on? He say, no, if you come in contact with my vision, the intensity of the radiation is so powerful, you'll lose your eyesight. You know that? Do you know that? When Musa alayhi salam used to speak to Allah, or when he used to communicate with Allah and make kalam with Allah, nobody could go near him. So in the state of ghaflatul salihin, when he is looking at it, what is he taking from there? So don't go. Khaja Qutbe Alam did not go in the front and wake up Khaja Gharib Nawaz radiallahu anhu. He said from the back. He was scared of that radiation. Qutbe Alam scared for it. Who are we? Qutbe Alam. Such great giant. The Khalifa number 1 of Hazrat Khaja Gharib Nawaz and the inheritor of the spiritual kingdom of Hindustan, Hazrat Qutbe Alam, Khaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki from the back. Right? So what they did, they wanted to see. When the door used to be closed, Hazrat Khaja Qutbuddin Bakhtiyar Kaki and Hazrat Qazi Hamiduddin Nagori, very close, they used to be together, and Hazrat Qutb al-Aqtab, Hazrat Khaja Qazi Hamiduddin Nagori, he was ustad of Hazrat Qutb al-Aqtab as well. To see, Hazrat, kya guzar raha hai un par? Let's see, there was a small opening. So they put stones outside. You see, now this to be, what word I can use? I'm very frightened to attribute a wrong word, Yeah, curiosity, spiritual curiosity. So if you want to know what is he experiencing inside at this moment alone, so they piled stones. They piled stones and they stood on there in a small opening, peep to see what's happening. Khaja Gharib Nawaz radiallahu ta'ala, after they piled the stone, when it's time for salah, he went from the back. Any time he used to enter, it's time for salah. So get him, as-salah, as-salah, as-salah. Gharib Nawaz radiallahu ta'ala, he used to walk out. When he walked out, he looked at that pile of stone, burned to ashes. Rock melted. That was the intensity of the vision at that time. Peter had absorbed. In Ghaflatul Salihin, you absorb that. And when he used to walk, whoever he came, eye contact. Any single person on his way to the masjid to perform salah, anyone had eye contact, became a wali of Allah. That is Gharib Nawaz. You know who is Gharib Nawaz? ये तो एक करामत बयान कर रहा हूँ. गरीब नवाज की पूरी करामत बयान करे तो तुम्हारे होश उड़ जाएंगे. And then suddenly one day he hears a voice from the unseen. Hey Muinuddin, क्या सबको वली बनाने का इरादा कर लिया? Huh? But you intend to make everybody Allah's wali. From that day he used to put his head down and walk. So Ghaflatul Salihin. I did not mention one karamat of Huzur Mufti-e-A'zam Hind. I'm just speaking about Ghaflatul Salihin. He turned around, he said, he turned around, still got a cup in hand and a saucer. Turned around, he said to me, ये चाय आप पी लीजिए. No, he didn't drink. He must have seen something of the intrinsic world now. Maybe he had, either absorbed something that is so powerful and so tasty, he didn't want to contaminate that taste, spiritual taste, with the taste of a commodity of this dunya. Stop drinking. वो कौन सी शराब पिए? शराब मोहब्बत पिए उन्होंने. And he turned around like this, he turned around. I'm still in the back, scared, shaking. He said, "Tum ye pee lo." I looked at him, Mera naseeb. Mera naseeb. More than the tea, there was tea leaf inside. You think I left one piece of tea leaf? I drank and I ate all that tea and I wiped it inside. I said, this is a chance now. If I'm going to lose this, I'm losing everything. Quran Islam, Ghaflatul Salihin. Ask your Imam to speak more about Ghaflatul Salihin, and then you will know Wilaya Wali kaun hota hai. Ghaflatul Salihin ke Imam jo hai, वो बड़े पीर दस्तगीर हुजूर गौसे आज़म कुतबे आलम रज़ियल्लाहु ताला, he was so intense in this that he says, where the station and status of the awliya ends, where the station and status of the awliya ends, is the place where the station of Abd al-Qadir begins. You understand? Bade Peer Dastagir. So this is Ghaflatul Salihin. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq and hidayah. Sorry, maaf, take up so much of your time. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala मेरे पीर दस्तगीर की फयूज़ व बरक़ात से हमारे ईमान को सलामत रखे. इला आलमीन उनके सदक़े तुफ़ैल में हमें भी वो मोहब्बत और इश्क़ अता फरमा, इस्तिक़ामत फ़ी दीन अता फरमा, मज़हब अहले सुन्नत पर इस्तिक़ामत अता फरमा. इला आलमीन जो हम में बेनमाज़ी उन्हें नमाज़ी बना दे, जो नमाज़ें अदा करते अपने फ़ज़्ल व करम से उनकी इबादतों को कबूल फरमा. وآخر دعوانا الحمد لله رب العالمين. My apologies, I took too much of your time.